This video is on question 27 of the 2012 TSA paper, and here we're asked which option best expresses the main conclusion of the argument. And here is the passage that we're given. So we're first told that it's time to bury the independence issue, and the rest of the passage makes clear that the author is talking about Scottish independence. They say that our Scottish government's prime role is to spend its money wisely. And another of its roles is to seek harmony with the UK government at Westminster, and this isn't happening at the moment. The author says that calls for Scottish independence are seriously compromising these objectives, and that we need a referendum on Scottish independence now. So in this type of question, when you're asked which option best expresses the main conclusion, you should expect the answer to be either a solution, if there's a solution in the passage, or a reaction, if there's a reaction but no solution in the passage. So can you see a solution, first of all? Well, sentence 5 seems to contain a solution to the problem that the writer addresses. The solution being that we need a referendum now. So we're going to take a look at some options now, and we're looking for something which matches this. So here we have our 5 options, and here we have what we have proposed as the conclusion of the argument, i.e. the solution. So can you see an option which matches this? Well, it looks like B matches this. B is also saying that we need a referendum on the issue now. But let's quickly dismiss the other options. Option A says that in a referendum, Scottish people will vote for independence. Well, this is perhaps the opposite of what the writer thinks. The writer seems to be advocating a referendum on the grounds that Scots will vote to remain and the Scottish government can get on with its business of running Scotland. So A doesn't look like it's going to be the conclusion. Option C says that 30 billion, and this figure is mentioned in the passage when it says how much the Scottish government has to spend, 30 billion is enough for Scotland to be governed wisely. Now, even though the 30 billion figure itself is mentioned, the author of the argument does not say explicitly that 30 billion is enough for Scotland to be governed wisely. Perhaps this is an assumption of the author, but it's certainly not explicitly said. Therefore, it's certainly not the conclusion. Note that in questions where we're asked to draw a conclusion from the passage, the conclusion is always not said. However, when we're asked which option best expresses the main conclusion, the conclusion is always said explicitly in the passage. Let's take a look at option D now. Option D says that the Scottish government should focus on its job. Now, if you look back to the passage, you'll see that this is a reason given in support of the conclusion that we should have a referendum on Scottish independence now. This is a reason for the conclusion, and so it can't be the conclusion itself. What about option E? This says that independence would be good for Scotland. Well, again, this seems to be perhaps the opposite of what the writer thinks. Again, the writer seems to be advocating a referendum on the grounds that Scots will vote in, and thereby the Scottish government will be able to crack on with its job. So this doesn't seem to be the point the author is making. So not only is option B the only solution, but we can rule out all other options with good reasons. So that leaves B as the correct answer.